Henry the Mischievous Hedgehog. This book is for children ages 3 to 7, like the preschool, kindergarten, first through second age. And this book is about a mischievous hedgehog that gets into a little bit of trouble. And as time goes on, he has to learn the lesson of when he makes mistakes, he has to fix them and try his best to learn from those mistakes. I chose to write this book because I feel as though it would help young students learn that when they make mistakes, it's okay and it's an opportunity for them to learn from them so that they can do their best in the future. Henry the Mischievous Hedgehog by Julia Massengill. In a quaint little burrow at the edge of a bustling town, there lived a family of hedgehogs, Mama Hedgehog, Papa Hedgehog, and their little son Henry. While Mama and Papa Hedgehog were quite tidy, young Henry had a mischievous streak. One sunny morning, Mama Hedgehog walked into the kitchen to find a whole box of pizza splattered all over the floor and pepperoni pieces stuck to his spines. "Oh dear," she muttered to herself, shaking her head. "Henry's been up to his tricks again." Following the trail of pepperoni, Mama found Henry in his room, surrounded by an array of toys and books. "Henry, what have you been doing?" she asked, trying to sound stern but failing to hide a hint of amusement. Henry looked up, his spiky face flushed with guilt. "I was just playing, Mama," he said, his eyes wide with innocence. Mama sighed, but then she smiled. "Well, playing is fine, Henry, but we need to keep our house tidy. Let's clean up this mess together, shall we?" And so, with Mama's help, Henry tidied up his room, sweeping away the pizza and toy mess and putting everything back in its place. But Henry's mischievous nature couldn't be contained for long. Later that day, while Mama was busy in the garden, Henry decided to explore Mama Hedgehog's makeup bag. Just then, Mama heard a commotion coming from her bedroom. Hurrying in, she found Henry surrounded by her makeup supplies, with lipstick smeared on his quills and powder scattered all over the floor. "Oh, Henry," Mama explained with a frown, "what have you done now?" Henry looked up with wide, innocent eyes. "I was just playing, Mama," he said, his voice filled with sincerity. Mama sighed, but then she smiled. "Playing is fine, Henry, but we need to be careful with Mama's things. Let's clean up this mess together, okay?" With Mama's gentle guidance, Henry helped gather the scattered makeup items and wiped away the smudges from his quills. He tried his best to be careful, but his curiosity often got the better of him. Later that day, while Mama was busy in the garden, Henry couldn't resist sneaking back into her office to explore. It wasn't long before Henry found himself so intrigued with her office supplies that he scribbled on her papers and doodled on her fancy computer. After Mama found Henry and the mess he made, she kneeled down beside him and said, "Oh, Henry, another mess?" Looking sad, Henry hung his head and felt guilty. "I'm sorry, Mama," he said softly. Mama sighed, but then hugged him tightly. "Accidents happen, Henry," she reassured him. "But next time, let's remember to ask before touching Mama's things, okay?" Henry and Mama worked together to clean up the mess, and afterwards, Mama read Henry's favorite book to him. As they stood together amidst all the messes they had cleaned up, Mama smiled at her little Henry. Despite his mischievous ways, Henry's family knew that he had a good heart and always tried his best. And so, Henry the Hedgehog learned that even the naughtiest of creatures could bring joy and laughter to those around them, as long as they meant well and tried their best to make things right. The end.